Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe it was Blackrue investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting, so we binge on our Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing. Dark horse in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing.
Okay, now you guys should be able to hear me. Sorry about that. That's awfully weird. That usually never happens. So what's up, Sharon? I hope I'm saying that right. Sharon Dawson. What's up, Relaxing Serenity Sounds? Sister there. What's up, Real Talk? What's up, Nerd Up Inc? What's up, J Everything? What's up, Open Ranks? Good to have y'all on here. This is the ETH merge over hype real talk. Mm, it's not overhyped. It's not overhyped, but I don't think we're gonna see this big old. It might be overhyped, and I don't think we'll see this big, huge boost in the market. Maybe, but it could be. It could be a thing. It could be a thing. What's up, J Soul? Because the biggest thing about the ETH merge to me is that once they get put on staking, people who have a whole bunch of money, i.e., like the World Economic Forum, these hedge funds, they can come in there and scoop up a lot of Ethereum and be in control of its governance. So maybe we see a good like increase in Ethereum's price, but yeah, that's how I feel about that. Because the more and more I look at staking, people who have a lot of money can really control the governance of the token. So that's something we got to be on the lookout for. Um, but yeah, back to these ISO projects, and I'm sure please Real Talk and others, if you guys have questions like Real Talk just had, put them in the comments here because I'll definitely have some time in the end to deal with questions. But these ISO cryptos, I'm investing pretty heavy in this. Not financial advice, but I'm just letting y'all know what I'm doing. Um, because if we come over here and take a look at some of them here, um, the whole the whole deal about the ISO cryptos is that this ISO 20022 standard makes them like basically an international bank. And we'll come over here and say and read it here, okay? Where is it? Okay. There's a number of experts who believe adoption of the standard will get in the way of cryptos like Bitcoin and keep them from becoming ubiquitous as an international money transfer place. However, that's not the case for a handful of ISO 2002 cryptos. There are 5 digital currencies. Moving on. Um, what ties these cryptos together and differentiates them from non-compliant cryptos is their focus on streamlining international wire transfers. And as such, they are some of the earliest adopters of the ISO 2022 standard. Now, if you guys watch, shout out to the Simon family on this show on the Gentleman of Crypto Network. They've told you, they've told you that international wire transfers, i.e., remittance payments, that's a huge business. They get something like trillions of dollars going into remittance payments and international wire transfers. And just case in point, I live in Arizona. A lot of people from Mexico or Latin American countries work here and they send money back home. Why do they send money back home? Because the money's worth more here. The US dollar is worth more than pesos. Another case in point, Axie Infinity. Many people were working, like in the Philippines, were working Axie Infinity, playing that game and like breeding those animals and playing that game and earning a small love potion because they could earn 600 up to like $1,000 in American money. And I think I looked up somewhere where their salary like basically like it was either $200 to $100 American is like a whole month's salary for them. And for us over here, $200 ain't gonna do much for you, right? So um, that just gives you an idea of how like $200 in the Philippines or U.S. money in Mexico or other Latin American countries goes a very, very long way. So that's why international wire transfers are a big thing. Now, if we go in and we take into account clearing money, like say that like I wanted to buy a house from someone, their bank has to clear. My bank has to clear. There are going to be a whole bunch of middlemen that take their fees in between. Um, Let alone like international money where you got to transfer into different fiat, like into euros or into like yen or all this other stuff, and there's a fee for that transfer. Um, Taken now, if you bring crypto into it, and they have the blockchain and they have consensus happening in like some cases like hell like a few seconds or a few hours, that drastically lowers the fees. Like it lowers the fees. It brings like money transfer down to a very very short amount of time, and that's very very lucrative situation if you think about it. So these cryptos are kind of leading the way with it right now. So this list was done a little bit earlier, but I wanted to get that little explanation in for you. We're going to switch over to another list here. This one is official as of June 2022, but we got these cryptos being ISO compliant: Stellar, Hedera, IOTA, XDC, Ripple, Algorand, and Quant. Now, a couple of these are LCX partners, and I mentioned LCX on here a few different times to you guys, but Hedera and Quant are LCX partners. Excuse me. And another one we like to focus on is Algorand for this too. Let's see if we got some more people come on in over here. Okay, we'll get to the LCX targeting. What's up, Edward Diaz? 1130, Algo, XRP, and XLM. I love those. I love those. So let's get back into it here. So this is huge. So you can really think also if these guys are teaming up with LCX. LCX is a World Economic Forum crypto. They're literally members of the World Economic Forum. Check out all my videos here on my channel. And if you want to learn more about LCX, I got tons of LCX playlists. I've gone over a lot of their partners like DAG, like Quant, like Hedera. So we're going to touch on it a little bit right here. Excuse me. We're going to touch on it a little bit here. But definitely come over to my channel because you can see all about the LCX partners. You can see tons of videos on LCX. But the bottom line here is the WEF is kind of, it seems to me that they're getting these things ready so that when like American fiat, when American money just really doesn't have a value anymore, we can just kind of move into things like this. And every one of these kind of have their own specialty if you kind of really look at them. And we'll focus on some of these today. So let's look here at Hedera. Hedera, and we've been over it a ton of different times on the channel. Hedera really looks like they're trying to do like tokenization of assets. But if we come over here and look at Hedera, they have a who's who of partners here. Boeing, Google, IBM, T-Mobile, Shinhan Bank, which is big in like Korea and Japan and China. Wipro, which is really, really big in India. Nomura is big in Japan. They have a LG. So many huge partners. Now, if they can start tokenizing assets, and we've seen it here before. I think you guys have seen me bring up their co-founder, and also come over here. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Blackrue, and also come over here and follow me at Rockfin, where I talk more kind of esoteric type topics over here on Rockfin. And I can already see some of you Blackrue investing followers have come over. I got 75 followers here. But yeah, we get into more esoteric stuff. Saturn worship, bullish and bearish, what do they represent? WEF and CBDCs. All of this type of stuff we get into over there. But yeah, let's go back on to Hedera. I want to bring up again one thing that we're kind of moving a little slow here. I want to bring up one thing that their partner I can't talk today. One thing that their co-founder mentioned to LCX is the tokenization of assets. And the reason why that's really important is because things that the bank doesn't traditionally believe are assets, things like NFTs, things like future earning power, a lot of these things they're going to be able to tokenize, and people are going to be able to have like use of those assets as money, as collateral. Things like precious metals you may own. But here, I'll let the co-founder get into this, and let me make sure my volume is up.
For Antarctica, and
how to keep the platform fully.
Okay, so let's just give you guys a little insight here. Monty Metzger, that's the co-founder, or that's the founder of LCX, and this guy is Lyman Barrett. He's a co-founder, a founder of Hedera. He's going to talk about tokenization of assets.
How to keep the platform fully distributed over time. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so to begin with, you want to have nodes on all different continents.
Whoa, this is not the one I wanted to show you guys. I wasn't aware of that one. This is the one I wanted to show you guys, I believe. Okay, tokenization of assets, yes. This is the one I wanted to show
Pretty much
you.
everything of value will end up.
How do you see the importance of tokenized assets and the future of tokenization?
Oh, this is a big deal. So I think that ultimately, pretty much everything of value will end up being tokenized. It just makes too much sense. It's the same way that we used to do record keeping on paper, and it eventually all moved to computers just because it made sense. And we used to send information back and forth by mailing these shiny disks through the mail. How weird. Now it's all just over the internet. In the same way, ledgers are going to end up tokenizing everything. What that means is traditional assets like stocks and diamonds and artwork are all going to be tokenized. But in addition, people are going to start tokenizing things that have never been tokenized before, like your own future revenue. You know, Spencer Dinwiddie is doing that. That's going to be tokenized. People are going to be tokenizing things like a kilowatt hour of electricity combined with carbon credits to offset it, glued together. People are tokenizing that. People are going to be tokenizing complex derivatives and futures and sorts of things. All of these things are going to be tokenized. Things that haven't been tokenized before. Spencer had tokenized the ability for people to influence which shoes he wears at the next game. You know, this is not something that has ever been a market before. And so the ability to tokenize things and to send little tiny fractions of a value, I didn't even say that about the diamonds. Maybe I could buy a cup of coffee with a millionth of a diamond. You can't.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm not sharing
Millionth of a diamond.
the screen here. Let me come out here. Gosh darn it, that sound threw me off. I'm so sorry, guys. Here we go. Let's do that again. And I know somebody probably told me. Over here. Sorry about that, guys. I wasn't sharing the screen. Okay, let's see here. Any opinion on Saucer Swap? The first DEX on HBAR. We'll get back to that as well. And let's go here. For some reason, I'm not showing live. Ooh, hey. My bad, guys. So let's play that one more time. And I'll speed it up so it doesn't take so long. Where are we here? Let's see. I can't speed it up, but you guys heard it, right? So, but let's just play it again because it's really important. It's really important to this topic.
How do you see the importance of tokenized assets and the future of tokenization?
Oh, this is a big deal. So I think that ultimately, pretty much everything of value will end up being tokenized. It just makes too much sense. It's the same way that we used to do record keeping on paper, and it eventually all moved to computers just because it made sense. And we used to send information back and forth by mailing these shiny disks through the mail. How weird. Now it's all just over the internet. In the same way, ledgers are going to end up tokenizing everything. What that means is traditional assets like stocks and diamonds and artwork are all going to be tokenized. But in addition, people are going to start tokenizing things that have never been tokenized before, like your own future revenue. You know, Spencer Dinwiddie is doing that. That's going to be tokenized. People are going to be tokenizing things like a kilowatt hour of electricity combined with carbon credits to offset it, glued together. People are tokenizing that. People are going to be tokenizing complex derivatives and futures and sorts of things. All of these things are going to be tokenized. Things that haven't been tokenized before. Spencer had tokenized the ability for people to influence which shoes he wears at the next game. You know, this is not something that has ever been a market before. And so the ability to tokenize things and to send little tiny fractions of a value, I didn't even say that about the diamonds. Maybe I could buy a cup of coffee with a millionth of a diamond. You can't do that today. If I have a diamond, I can't really go to Starbucks and hand them a millionth of a diamond. But you can do that with tokenization.
Okay, so the reason that's really important is now, just like I said, if we can tokenize different things that the bank normally doesn't take as an asset, he said it like, say you have a diamond or a wedding ring. Like, okay, instead of taking that to like a pawn shop or whatever, you can like tokenize it and actually have it as an asset. Things like artwork, like you probably couldn't take a precious artwork to a to a pawn shop and really pawn that or whatever. But now you can tokenize it and have that actually be asset and equity that you can use right now. NFTs, for instance, um, certain block like sums of crypto, um, you name it. Certain things that the bank just wouldn't necessarily view as an asset, like maybe even like collectible cards or whatever, comics, um, that can be tokenized, and now you can use that asset. Now there's a downfall to that because okay, what if you default on your like I don't know your precious diamond or you default on your NFT? They now get they now get to repossess that. However, saying that you don't default on it, it's really cool to leverage that money right now to use it for future growing power. So that's a very, very, very cool thing. Like another asset I could think of is virtual land. So yeah, so those are the type of things that Hedera is doing. Now, if we look at Algorand, ooh, my mouse is sticking here. If we look at Algorand, this is one of the fastest cryptos around. Whenever I use Coinbase, I will transact with people in Algorand if I'm sending them money or if I'm paying for something. Like for instance, I bought like some helium miners a couple months ago, and I transacted with the guy in Algorand, and he literally got the money in about, or he got the crypto in about 4 seconds. That's definitely, it's not even a joke. Um, so Algorand is one that I'm high on, and I think we see a breakout in this one very, very soon. If I come over here and look, there's this really cool site called DeFi Llama, and it tells you how much DeFi money is locked up in cryptocurrency, and it does it by chain. It also does it by different DeFi exchanges. So if you go up there to overview, it'll tell you DeFi exchanges that have like what DeFi exchanges have the most money locked up in them. But for right now, we're going to do chains. So we can see here if we go, actually, let's go to overview because it'll show you that money has actually been flowing back into crypto. So right here, okay, when we were at like November 2021, there was almost $167 billion in crypto. At one point, there was I thought there was like 200 at one point. I don't know if they changed this or whatever. I swear there was like 200 at one point. But anyway, um, then we had this big drop off, and the drop off got us down to like 55 million or billion in there. We're back up to 67. So we've increased like 12 billion, $12 billion. But if we come down here and we look at Algorand, okay, I got to go back to chains. Okay, if we come down here and we look at Algorand, this is the most money they've ever had in their DeFi. So, and DeFi, like if you look at any of my past videos on Gentlemen of Crypto, um, like it tracks so much to price of crypto. So when you see something having like the most money DeFi wise it's ever had in it, you can expect it to break out a little bit. One thing I can definitely kind of show you guys with that is Solana. If we just take a minute to look at Solana, you can see just how crypto is so tracked with price. So you see this right here. Let's go take a look at Solana now. It's moving a little slow, so sorry guys. That's Quant, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But let's look at Solana. By the way, Solana's, that name is kind of esoteric because Sol is sun. Gets back to Saturn worship and the sun worship. But that's a whole entirely different subject. Check out Rockfin for that. But see, like, look at this little hiccup here, and this big increase here. If we go look at DeFi Llama, is this the right one? No, that's not. Okay, so yeah, so you see it? It's like the same type of deal here. Matches up so tough, like so like right in line with the coin's price, right? So the fact that we see Algorand having the most DeFi money it's ever had, we should see some type of breakout from Algorand pretty soon. Let's see if we got any questions over here. Okay, real talk. Charles hates Algorand. Why? I think Charles hates Algorand because they're so corporate. I know, like, Charles despises Algorand, but the reason I think he really despises them, and he's talked about this on his channel before, reason why Cardano gets so much hate is because he doesn't really have like corporate bros. He doesn't really he doesn't really track with the corporate type of deal. And you see him all the time like talking about how gas prices are terrible, and like you see him all the time kind of bucking the status quo when it comes to like the price of money. Like he bucks the status quo all the time. The reason I think he hates Hedera is because they have so much corporate backing, so they're really not necessarily decentralized. They're owned and governed. Like, and remember, that gets back to what we were saying. Like, if staking can have these people come in here and have all the governance tokens and make all the decisions. So it says it right here. Hedera is owned and governed by the world's most leading in organizations. So that's why Charles hates Hedera, because they're governed by the powers that be. Whereas Cardano, a lot of Cardano's governance is in the hands of the people, and their governance in Hedera is behind the who's who of government companies: Boeing, Google, IBM, you name it, right? And we can get into the deep stuff about how Google censors stuff on YouTube and all of this stuff about bots and all of that. But if y'all want to see that, y'all gonna have to go on to Rockfin. But that's why he hates it. I hope I answered that for you. Real talk. An opinion on Saucer Swap DEX on HBAR. Let's go take a look at it. So again, I told you I love this tool, DeFi Llama. We can probably come on here and take a look at Saucer Swap. Should tell us exactly how much money is locked up in it, and how HBAR is responding from it. So let's go down. HBAR should say. Actually, let's just use the search because that's quicker. Hedera. So remember this too, because when stuff starts going real bullish, man, you're gonna really need this tool. Oh, and they fixed it. They fixed it. Okay, because it did say that Hedera had this much locked into it. 54 million locked into it, but they made a fix on that. They good. It's really good that they made a fix on that. So they only put the amount that's locked up into Algorand itself or into Hedera itself. So I don't see Saucer Swap on this tool yet. So I'm gonna have to go and actually look for it. And if it's not on this tool, I doubt that it's on Solana. And a lot of times, if you can catch certain like DeFi things early like this before they're actually listed on stuff, you can get a little
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
You can earn some cash by like investing in them. Not financial advice. It happens sometimes if you can find them this early. But let's see. Maybe CoinGecko has them listed. Sometimes CoinMarketCap is a little behind. Saucer Swap. So you guys are getting a lot of tools that you can use on your own type of your own search and stuff for crypto. So I don't see them real talk. You might have to send them to me, but I'll do a search here on pre-search. It might get there, so let's
say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you. Bye, Felicia.
Excuse me. Getting a little stale in here. I might have to open up a window. Okay, there we go. And it's loading. It's taking a little while. Okay, it's taking a long while. Okay. Okay, there we go. Terms of service, okay. Please read to the end. Okay. Okay. All right. So it might not be a bad deal to grab a few of these since it's only at 4 cents. They're the first one. It's not even listed on any of these. It's not even listed on CoinGecko or DeFi Llama or CoinMarketCap. So I wouldn't think it would be a bad deal to kind of go over here and grab some of these. But you have to be careful and you have to just keep a watching on like because a lot of times it's almost like liquidity swapping and trying to play that game. The bottom will fall out. I think it will increase from here. Not financial advice. I really do think so because it's so early. But be on the lookout for like it dropping. Okay, so pick a point that you're comfortable taking some profits from here. But I think it's a real good deal at 4 cents. And since it's so early, that it might be a very great investment. Just to answer that question. Okay, but then let's get back here to these ISO cryptos. So, real high on Algorand, real high on Hedera. Now let's get into quant a little bit. So quant, quant is, we're going to look at LCX and quant here, because this is going to be a really big tip off on where quant can go in the future. So I know a lot of people think, oh, they always talk about the WEF and CBDCs, and they just never like cite any research or really go and show their receipts on what's happening with that. But I've shown you guys so many times on here that LCX is a literal member of the WEF. And here we have quant actually being kind of like a driver for CBDCs. So it's here, right on one of their press releases. Last year, Quant chooses LCX as a partner to enable DLT. DLT is distributed ledger interoperability. You can basically think about that as a blockchain. So blockchain to enable blockchain and not interoperability. You can just think of it that way. Quant and crypto asset pioneer LCX partnership will further accelerate the progression towards central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. So that's huge, right? LCX, WEF member, and this crypto quant are looking into making CBDCs a reality. So what does that tell you about quant, right? That they're in with people who are in the know, like, so they're really working on this, right? And if you go and look at quant and get into the deep about it, like I said, I have a video on it over here on the channel. You should definitely check that out. But quant really is trying to create a operating system for blockchains. They call this operating system Overledger, and all of the cryptos that go on quant will kind of interoperate via this operating system. So you can think of it almost like a Windows or Linux for cryptocurrencies. But if they can get it going, they can actually get CBDCs going, because it's like having an internet or operating system for all the cryptocurrencies that use it. So, willing to betcha, if that's the case, going back to what we were seeing earlier, then all of these cryptos that are kind of partnered here, and all these cryptos that have this 20022 standard will probably at some point be on quant and be used for a central, be like able to transact in that central bank digital currency. So that's why a lot of these are high on my list. If Hedera is getting tokenization going of assets and quant's getting CBDCs going, we can see a lot of relation there. Okay, now if we have you're interacting with, you're tokenizing your assets, you can now get that exchange to CBDCs via quant. And that leads us also into like IOTA. IOTA is an Internet of Things crypto. If we come over here and look at this, it's taking a little second to load, so sorry guys. And of course they have a fine black girl here. Connecting machines. So if you think about, and the only way you can think about Internet of Things and the connecting of machines as putting internet on things. So one big example of that we have right now is the smart TV. So the smart TVs have the internet on them. So you can put. We only think about it as like, okay, we can now stream Hulu and Netflix on our TV, but now really your TV is connected to the entire internet. Um, Imagine that if we put that into certain things like, okay, I used to work for a beverage machine maker. He wanted to do Internet of Things on his beverage machine so that, okay, if it's out of soda now, then okay, the guy who's supposed to fill the machine, they get a ping or a ding, and now they know they need to go fill the machine instead of coming every Wednesday, and like a company like you're losing out on people who like Mountain Dew, and it's gonna be late. You know what I mean? Like instead of him coming every Wednesday, what if it's out on Friday? So then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, nobody gets Mountain Dew. People are losing out on money. Instead, if it's Internet of Things connected, they now get a ping. And if it's out on freaking Friday or Thursday, he goes over there and he fills it on Friday or Thursday. Um, Now imagine this being on all types of different things. Um, there's a nefarious reason for it. You can now be tracked on all the things that have internet on them. You can now have get the GPS location of that. But there's also a brighter side of that you can now get on the internet and do things with things that you normally couldn't do do it with. And in the example of the beverage machine, now people are getting Mountain Dew whenever they want Mountain Dew, as opposed to like it being out for 5 days. So there's that. Let's see if we got any questions over here before I move on. What's up, Canal Proby? I'm not sure what you put there. Simano, I'm not sure what you put there. Um, okay, but let's go back here. So again, now we got Internet of Things, tokenization of things, CBDCs, and Algorand. I'm not sure how they fit in there, but they're as fast as hell, and they're just fast as hell. So, but now their company has the ability to be like used as international remittance payments. Now Ripple, they've slowed Ripple down with the SEC so many times, and that you got some people that say that Ripple's ledger technology is better than the current system we use, which is Swift. And if we get down into here, it talks about Swift a little bit here, I believe. I must have already passed it because I see Swift right here. Okay, here we go. I missed it. Okay. ISO will be the global standard for high or large value payment systems in all reserve currencies. Now think about it. American dollar has been the reserve currency pretty much of the world, but regardless of it being worth as much as a euro or whatever right now, don't believe all that hype. American currency with this inflation is buying less than it ever has ever with inflation right now. So that currency could be on its way out, and then flash forward these actual cryptocurrencies. So don't believe all that stuff about the American dollar being all, it's worth more than the euro. It may be on its way out. So okay, so the global standard for large or high value payment systems in all reserve currencies. It will handle 80% of transactions, 87% of transaction value globally. The European Central Bank and SWIFT have announced ISO 20022 go live standards for the go live dates for the standard. So SWIFT is the payment system we use for all types of clearances, all types of like transactions with your debit card go through Swift, and you can see kind of revolutionary wise if these things are now compliant enough to be used as that kind of go through Swift thing. Also, by the way, Jack Mollers and the company Strike have made it so that Bitcoin can be used kind of like a Swift payment too. So when you keep all of these in mind, also know that Bitcoin is kind of here too via Strike because Jack Mollers has already kind of got that all done. So understand you can kind of almost say that Bitcoin is here too. But moving on. So this is a very important point. Now we got HBAR doing freaking tokenization, IOTA doing Internet of Things, Quant doing the CBDCs. Who knows where Ripple, Algo, XDC, and Stellar are gonna fall in that? But I can tell you for a fact that Stellar has a deal with MoneyGram, one of the biggest remittance payment systems out there. It was supposed to be XRP who had that deal, but since they had that trouble with the SEC, I guess MoneyGram just went and did a deal with Stellar. Let me just put this in so you guys can see the receipt on this here. I might have to put in Stellar, but we'll see if this brings it up. MoneyGram and Stellar to partner to offer USDC coin remittances. Again, so back to the remittance payments, right? That's such a huge deal, money wise. So this was back in May 2022. MoneyGram and Stellar partner to enable USDC remittance payments. So MoneyGram was seeing the writing on the wall, and I guess instead of them trying to make their own cryptocurrency and get into blockchain stuff, it's just better for them to just be like, okay, let's just partner with Stellar, right? So that's pretty interesting, right? But this is highly detailed stuff happening behind the scenes that we never even really kind of contemplate unless we're paying attention to it, right? Let me see if there's any questions. Oh, Freedom Culture. H-bar will reach $8 conservatively. I'm high on H-bar, but $8, we got to kind of look at that, all right? Let's look at that. Let's bring up So, I already told you I'm high on it. I already showed you guys they have a who's who is partners who are governing them. So they're already like a powerhouse, right? But one of the things we really have to look at here is this circulating supply. They have a 50 billion circulating supply. Now, if we put that into context here, and this is one of the things you always kind of have to think about when you're talking price, right? You got to think about how much that circulating supply is. Now, keep in mind if they got people like T-Mobile and all these things as partners, circulating supply means a little bit less to them than it does other cryptos, but still it's something we cannot ignore. One of the things that makes Bitcoin so valuable as a store of value is that its circulating supply is only like 21 million. And keep in mind that people lose their keys all day, and certain things happen where people lose Bitcoin. So 21 million is even high when you think about it. I'm sure there's like a good 100,000 or more Bitcoin out there that's been lost. So, but anyway, their circulating supply only being 21 million makes them a really big store of value. So that's something to think about. Ethereum, it looks like they're gonna cap it to this much, maybe. I don't know, but that's also gonna make it very valuable. Now, if we come down here and look at things, the only cryptos with a supply that's really that huge, they're getting a following like that, are Cardano and Polygon. So Polygon's supply is 10 billion and Cardano's supply is 45 billion. So keep in mind, if Hedera is really gonna make hay, like Cardano was up to like what, $2.50 at one point. Let's go check that. So if Hedera is really gonna make hay, it's gonna, like, a lot of people are gonna have to adopt it. And if you think about Cardano, Charles Hoskinson is always on YouTube. He's making he made inroads over there in Africa. Cardano has a huge community behind it. But of course, Hedera, how easy would it be for Boeing, Google, LG, and all those partners to just be like, okay, we're gonna buy some. We're gonna buy a whole bunch. We're gonna start using it in phones and T-Mobile's instance. Like, it wouldn't be too hard for them to make that coin move. Okay, this is taking too long loading, but you guys can do the research yourself. You know, the Cardano was like up to like $2 or $2.50. So that would be the bar I would set for Hedera before I even could talk about 8. Like, let's set the bar to even like just saying 55 cents like Cardano is right now. But I think conservatively it could get to the $2 or the $2.50 that Cardano was at in the last bull market. And we all know the next bull market, 5/4/24. That is when Bitcoin halves again. So we can load our bags in all these different cryptos that I'm talking about, these ISO20022 Cryptos. We can load our bags on them right now. Now, keep in mind, I already said the Bitcoin can be used by Swift right now. So Bitcoin is kind of like the mystery or like the silent ISO20022 partner, because it can already be used by Swift via Strike right now. So yeah. So $8, I got you, freedom culture. But I'm gonna set the bar to 250 right now at least, because that's where Cardano was at, and they have a similar maximum supply. Thank you, Frozen, for the $5. Appreciate that. Supports the Gentleman of Crypto Network. It's not always circulating supply. It's also adoption and utilization, which is what I got into, right? I got into adoption and utilization with Cardano, right? How Charles Hoskinson has done it in Africa, and how they have a big community. He's always on YouTube, etc., right? But we cannot ignore the max size. We can't ignore it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to click on. That's something we just can't ignore because it's a thing. We gotta look at market cap and how much it has to move. But just like I said, these dudes, where is it? Where was Hedera? Did I close it? No, I didn't. These dudes have Boeing, Google, IBM, Wipro, T-Mobile, LG, all of these guys as partners. So if they really wanted to move the coin, it ain't gonna take too much for them to move it. It really ain't. It's not gonna take that much for them to move it. So I'm setting an expectation on where coins of that size and have been. And Cardano has been there. So Hedera, it has to get past the 55 cent mark and head to the $2.50 mark before we can even talk 8. Just set an expectation. But can 8 be a possibility? For sure, it could be with all of these huge partners behind them. But again, that's again why Charles hates it, because they're governed by these huge corporate partners. And corporate gonna do what corporate wants to do. You know what I mean? So like, if they're governed by all of these people, they have a bottom line into they're gonna do what they want to do. Whatever we want to do as people is less of a care for them, because they already have tons of money. So I hope I made that clear. Let's see here. Did I miss one question here? Let me go up. Okay, we talked saucer swap. We talked. Okay, let's talk a little XRP with the last minutes. I'll go a little bit over, because technically we have 3 minutes left. I'll go like a little bit over 15 minutes or whatever, because I don't think it's anybody after me waiting. All right, somebody just subscribed. I love it. So let's talk a little bit of XRP, because I think they were deliberately targeted by the SEC to slow these guys down. A lot of people were already fresh and hot on XRP, and they were in a lot of the hands of the people, and I don't think corporate appreciates that. I don't think the powers that be appreciated that. So they got the SEC dogs in there and slowed those guys down. But I'm sure they can reach some type of agreement, and it's been going on this long, and I'm sure XRP is going to get over that, is what ultimately I'm saying here. But I don't know if you guys know about the 17th letter group. I'm not going to say them because I don't want this video pulled down. But a lot of 17th letter group people love XRP. And regardless of what you think about that, a lot of the 17th letter stuff, the real stuff, not the stuff that was like fake and that they put out there for people to just be like, oh, this is just a bunch of BS. A lot of the stuff that those 17th letter group people said did come true. So XRP is something we honestly should be watching. But again, this is another one of these coins that has a huge supply. And again, like I said, they got some big people behind them. So huge supply is less of a worry. But when you look at it and you see that it's 100 billion supply, you have to keep that in mind on how that coin is going to move, because it's 100 billion supply. Now, could they say tomorrow that they're burning like 50 billion coins? They could, but we got to keep in mind that they have 100 billion supply. But I'm still bullish on them. But we got to keep that in mind. I hope, because those are not mixed messages, guys. I hope you don't believe that they're mixed messages. But we just have to keep that in mind when we're investing in them. XRP, they have a couple coins that are big on my list. Coin called Sologenics, where they're also trying to do like a tokenization of things. And if we come over here and take a look at their website, we'll get an idea of what's happening here. They have an NFT marketplace all set and up and running, but jump to the future of DeFi with Sologenic. They have a DEX as well, decentralized exchange. And they already got a lot of transactions flowing through here, as they say. Sorry guys, it's moving a bit slow here. Okay, so you can see the NFT collections here. But when you get down to it, they also want to do a tokenization of deals on this platform as well. Who's going to be the platform that kind of wins the whole tokenization game? I think all of these platforms are going to kind of win it in their specific kind of area. Everybody will get their little tokenization piece, but this is one that you're going to want to watch out for as well. If we go look at Sologenics information as far as like their market cap and how many coins they have and all of that. These guys are a 4 million supply. You can only buy them on a couple different platforms as of right now. Gate.io, that's new. You can buy them on MXC, Hubei Global. They didn't used to be available on Gate.io, but you can't use Gate.io in the US anymore, I think. You can buy them on a coin exchange. Okay, so they're coming to a couple more different places, but be on the lookout for Sologenic. Another one that they have, and this is a company that Sologenic is launching. It's going to be its own layer 1 on the Cosmos platform. Is a coin called Corium. And I also believe they're doing certain airdrops. Like if you own a certain amount of Sologenic in a certain wallet, I think you gotta have to have it in an XRP wallet to get the actual airdrops. But that's something to be on the lookout for too. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to cover that at the moment. But again, so this supply is max supply 500 million. And they're launching their own layer 1 exchange. You can only buy them on these two markets, I believe, right now at the moment. But I think there's a reason for that. I think they're kind of purposely suppressing these at the moment. These guys haven't even launched who their partners are going to be and all of that. It's kind of super secretive type of deal going on. But check out Corium. Let's go onto their website here. Blockchain for all. Important. Learn how to claim core airdrop for solo holders. 12 snapshots to be taken in 2022. So that was just like I was telling you guys that they're doing airdrops. Built on the fastest layer 1. So again, speed is a thing. Scale with no limits. Multi-chain future. So definitely come over here and check out Corium. They're a little bit secretive right now. They really haven't announced that much stuff, but it's really cool for you guys to kind of know that they're out there. And this chain, Sologenic, that also wants to do tokenization of things, is out there. So thanks for subscribing, Jose Sabo. Also, guys, come over here and subscribe to my channel. It's Blackrue Investing. Ruel Black. You can just search my name and you can come over here and subscribe. And also, if you can't just search the name, You can go straight to it at www.darkhorsewatcher, and that's dark horse like a dark horse pick, darkhorsewatcher.com, and we get into a lot of this stuff over here. ISO cryptos, LCX versus ALBT. ALBT is one that I also have to bring to you guys. That's a very, very, very cool crypto. We're talking DAG, we're talking LCX partners. So definitely come over here, like and subscribe. And like I said, also check me out on Rockfin. It's at Blackrue on Rockfin. Rockfin does a lot of material that YouTube now censors out. It now makes its way over here to Rockfin. So definitely come over here, check me out over here. Let's see if we got any more questions before we go. I love it that I'm seeing all the subscription over here. Okay, dig the voice. Thank you. Wow, this channel is stepping up their game with ISO20022 content. I love it, guys. I didn't know you guys love that so much. I'll have to keep it going over here for that type of content. And I'll definitely have that type of content on my channel too. Let's keep it, spread the wealth all the way around. Gentlemen of Crypto, Blackrue Investing. Definitely check out some of the other channels on the Gentlemen of Crypto network. I have a couple of them down here. Crypto and Down, love those guys. Check those guys out. Check out my guy Underdog Crypto. Check out Gentlemen Crypto. You're already here. Benzinga. Check out my guy Crypto Logic John. He does stuff on LCX as well. Check out Simon Family Investments. Jump Out Girls. Check us all out over here. Definitely, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back next Saturday, and hopefully I'll be back also on Thursday, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one, guys. Peace.